Okay, I'd like to open up the Board of Electrical Examiners meeting for today, September 3rd. It is 10 a.m. exactly. First order of business is to review old business. The last meeting we had Bill and myself. Tom was kind enough to come in and take a look at some applications prior to the actual meeting date, as he wasn't going to be here, but we were able to approve 5 journeyman applications. They are all scheduled to take their practical exam tonight at the Union Hall. We did have a couple other applications that Tom had not voted on, so we only had 2 votes. We're going to just pass those around today. They are, and there's Bill.
Sorry, late.
You're not late, you're just in time. Just getting going. We got 2 journeyman applications we'll take a look at, and I think they were complete. They are complete, so you just take a look and see if you agree with the contents of them, and we'll take votes on those.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, see, he wasn't notarized at first, but I haven't sent it.
Okay.
So I don't know if you looked at the charter at all, Art, but what we're looking for is the application that shows that they have at least, I think it's 9,000 hours of experience or have completed a 5-year apprenticeship program, and they have to take and pass a test that's offered through Pearson View, which will come with their results with a photograph on it, letting us know they passed. So if we have to test the experience in the application, we're usually in good shape. Bill, have you met Art?
No.
He's a new fire marshal.
Art
Art Griswold,
Bill
Bill Emmons. Back all the way down the line then?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, boy. Sorry. Okay. All right. So we had 2 applications. The first one is Brandon Schisler, passed his exam, did not send us a notarized proof of hours.
Yeah, I think the second one is.
Then he did. Yeah, I called him and told the Christine Allen that we have to get it notarized. So she did. So now it was incomplete at the last meeting. Now it's complete. We can take a vote on it. Has everybody had a chance to look at Brandon Schisler's application?
Yep.
Motion to accept.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that's Schisler's unanimously approved. And then we had Bliss, Michael Bliss. Also sent us an application. He took and passed his test. He has the hours, proof of hours from the Union Hall apprenticeship program. So he's not looking at 9,000. He's looking at 8,250 per hours if you do an apprenticeship program, if you were required. He's got 8966, so he has enough. Well, he actually has 9686, so he has enough hours. We have a motion on that one. So moved. All in favor?
Second.
Aye.
All right.
Okay. Okay, so we'll call the Union Hall and schedule another practical exam for these 2 guys later September or October. We do have with us today Rick Croft from Commonwealth. He's a third-party electrical inspector that does work for the within the city of Binghamton on all electrical work. And he is joining us today with a grievance that he's had about one of our licensed contractors. You can join us over here, Rick, if you'd like.
You're welcome.
So the issue at hand is with our licensed electrician, John Rossi, and your findings. It's the hot topic
Yeah,
all year, every year.
Yeah.
And your concerns are what?
Basically, he's gotten to the point where he is just a license for hire. He is not physically able to do the electrical work that he's claiming to put out. Case in point was 134, 136 Clinton Ave. He called me for an electrical inspection on a 3-gang meter. First of all, being a licensed electrician, you would think he would have the wherewithal to look and go to a spot and say, yeah, this isn't gonna pass, let's get it fixed before you call me. But he didn't. He called me. I failed it for a couple of different reasons. And then weeks later, another electrical inspector in our area happened to be driving by and saw a couple of unqualified individuals doing the work at this location. Forwarded the pictures to me, and ever since I've told John that I'm not going to pass this building because he did not physically do the work. I don't care if he is the one that pulled the permit or not. The bottom line is, when I was first starting out as an electrician in 325, the rule was you had to have a master's license to be doing work in the city of Binghamton, Johnson City, Endicott. And if the person doing the work that had the master's license was not physically on the site, somebody with a journeyman's license had to be there, and they had to be an employee of the person with the master's license. To my knowledge, that is still the rule of thumb in the city of Binghamton. Is
yes,
that correct?
Yes.
Okay,
that is
so
correct.
there's strike 2 against the person. And then you also have to have not only workers' comp on yourself, but you'd have to have workers' comp on those individuals performing the work for you. So there's strike 3. So he's clearly just going through the motions to make money, and he doesn't care how or what kind of end result gets turned out. So I think I think it's time that the board take a step back and look at the big picture and say, maybe we should step in and intervene with this individuals. I know Johnson City has already taken steps, and they will not allow him to get any more permits. So I guess that's where I stand with this.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for?
I believe that to be the next course of action, is to not let him, I mean, you can pull his license or whatever, or just not give him any more permits, except it may not get to city court that he can't, or I mean, city clerk that he can't pull any permits.
Well, the clerk doesn't grant the permits,
Oh,
the building
they go
department
through your
does.
board?
They take care of the licensing end of it, so that's once a year in April that he renews the license.
I mean, he's been a problem since I've been on the board, which is
Yeah.
100 years.
So we did bring him in at one point for the same accusations, and it was when Jeremy was here, so probably 5 years ago.
Yep.
Remember, he appeared with his attorney, and we lacked any evidence.
Yep.
To squarely,
Yeah.
put that accusation on him and have it stick. So, he's been spoken to about this before, but that was quite some time ago. So a couple questions that I had was, the pictures that were taken show 2 guys on ladders against the wall at 132 Clinton Street.
Yep.
And is it clear from the pictures that they're handling electrical work?
Oh yeah, you can see they're working on the new 3-gang meter.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they're not your pictures, they were,
No.
Okay,
I have them.
okay. You, I mean, you could forward this to us.
Okay.
Or to me, and I'll, you know, use those to try to jog, John's memory. The guys who were working at that site, do we have any idea if they were journeymen or not?
They were not.
And we know them, or we know,
Well, their PA plates on their van. I believe they were PA plates on their van,
yeah,
but in any event, I'm fairly confident.
You
My
could
my
probably tell
my-
by the work that was done, right?
my confidence that they're not journeyman electricians is pretty high. See if I can see their plate. I know on the side of the van, it actually the plate is not clear. But they had a van electrical contractor out of Clark Summit. It had a 570 area code, but then the number below it scratched off. So, you know, I mean, they may have just bought that van from somebody in there, but
yeah.
Yeah.
So then what we're looking at is if this was something that we're gonna pursue with Mr. Rossi, we have some choices. Obviously, we could talk to him, give him a warning. We could, if we have substantial evidence, we could suspend his license when we've done that in the past for another electrician who lost his license for a year. But we would have to have something certain to accuse and prove that Mr. Rossi did. So with regards to insurance, he carries a workers' compensation policy. He's not trying to maintain that he does this work alone and that he doesn't have a payroll. So whether or not these guys are on the payroll, we would have to see John's books to know that, but are they covered by workers' comp and disability? Well, he has a policy, which generally sole proprietors don't carry. They use an exemption certificate to say, I have no staff, therefore I don't carry this policy. So if he's carrying a policy, he's almost indicating that he has
Well, let me
workers.
show this one. If he is carrying a policy, okay. Policy, no matter who you have the policy with, they're subject to audit at the end of the year. All right, so basically, the audit is gonna show payroll information. All right, so if he has the audit at the end of the year and he has no payroll information there, which I'm sure he doesn't because he didn't hire anybody, you know what I mean, then the workers' comp policy is worthless because it's not.
And the
paying
Workers'
it.
Compensation Board of New York State would be the ones to investigate that.
Right.
So you're right. That's
You know.
something, there's a consequence that come about naturally through a different agency. You know, that
Yeah.
he could be held responsible for that. For us to you know, make the accusation, we would have to you know, show them the pictures and say, you know, this is what was observed. Not our pictures, so it's not as ironclad as if we had taken them, but it still suggests that there might be some wrongdoings going on. And at that point, if he wants to, you know, name the individuals and show us that they are journeymen and show us that he has, you know, insurance for them. I mean,
Right.
there's no reason why he couldn't continue to do that as a master electrician, pull permits, hire journeymen, have them do the work, inspect their work.
Hire a licensed attorney,
Right,
right?
yeah.
Now, can you see the faces of the people that were there?
So I mean, it's probably not going to amount to, it's probably, if there's any consequence for this, it'll probably be through the Workers' Compensation Board. For
how does he get turned in for that?
I don't,
Can't we suspend his license based on this information? Pending proof of employment of those two individuals?
I mean, we could certainly try for that, Bill. I don't know.
I mean, I'd like to
That's-
try for it. I mean, this
Yeah.
has been going on for years and years and
Right.
years, and it keeps getting by. I mean, forget the warning. You know, I mean, he's had so many warnings.
Yeah.
and
He
it's
is,
ridiculous.
he is clearly just a license for hire
Yeah,
at this point.
definitely. He has been for years.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like,
And the thing that gets me is that now, you know, I almost get daily text messages from them wanting me to pass this service. And I told him, John, I'm not passing this service. You did not do the work on it. I'm
Right.
not putting my electrical business, inspection business on the line for one inspection.
Right.
It just doesn't work that way.
Yep.
You follow the rules and I'd be glad to help you out, but if you don't follow the rules, and, there needs to be some proof that he is following. the rules. And as of right now, I'm not seeing any.
Can I put that into a form of motion, and make a motion that we suspend his license pending proof of employability by the two individuals that did the work?
I think that we can bring him in for a meeting, but he has the right to, be heard.
Right,
So I can send him a letter to, ask him to attend the October meeting. And then as far as whether or not we can suspend his license, I think he's gonna have to have the opportunity to speak. And then we could say, if you don't, if we have enough proof that, he's responsible for providing us licenses for his journeyman or proof of payroll or something like that, we could ask him to bring those in and say, if you fail to, or if you're unable to, then your license would be suspended. But I think we have to give him an opportunity to,
so can you say that he has to show up at the next meeting with proof that those people are his employees? Or face license suspension? If he doesn't
we
show
could
up,
word it in a way saying you have the opportunity to bring, proof. We have your workers' comp. You have the opportunity to bring us, payroll reports or names of the individuals so that we can verify their licenses as journeymen. If you don't provide those things, then you do run the risk of facing a suspension.
right,
Now, I did drive by there a couple of days later and saw the same van there. The guys must have been inside working. But I did not see Mr. Rossi's
Yeah.
vehicle anywhere,
so of
so
course, it brings back the next question, is are they
Exactly.
doing anything besides the service? What are they doing
Well,
inside the building?
when he originally had me come for the first visit, the owner was there with him, and of course, there's a little bit of a English barrier with this owner, because he's foreign. But he said he wanted to turn the building into 3 apartments. And that's when I went over and looked at the service, and I says, John, this isn't adequate for that. It needs to be upgraded.
Right,
So,
because obviously if he had these individuals doing,
I'm
The
sure
outside
they're
work,
probably doing the
they're
inside
probably
as well.
doing inside work as well.
Yes,
So that needs to stop, because
Yep.
once the walls get covered up, you're
yeah,
not gonna know what's in there.
yeah. I would say probably the city's best interest would be to put a stop work order on that building. That's just my opinion.
I agree. I'd
Yeah,
say
I'll have to
keep
check.
going.
I'm not sure that the permit was actually granted.
Okay,
The application was made. But I think the work that when you called and said
Yeah.
that you had, a knowledge of people other than John doing the work, I think when I looked it up, it hadn't even been granted.
Yeah,
We're waiting for some more documentation. So,
so a stop work order would be,
well, you stop, yeah, we could do a stop work order. If we observe, something that's taking place, like work without a permit or work not compliant with the code. I'll have to
Can
look-
we,
inspectors look
have
at
the
it.
address so we can drive by
132 Clinton Street.
132 Clinton?
Yeah. So I
and there
mean,
is a one-way street behind there, which seems to be where everybody parks, is behind the building. There's a driveway off of that one-way street. So if you're gonna do a drive-by, make sure you do both sides of the building.
so the permit that hasn't been approved yet, or whatever the center is only for the service, right? It's not for any work inside,
right.
yeah. And it wasn't granted, permit wasn't granted?
It's not that it wouldn't be. I think that we're waiting on some additional information.
So they went ahead and did the work without having a valid permit.
Possibly, yeah.
It hadn't been granted yet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I say, this has been going on for
Yeah.
so many years, and it's
It
like,
seems to,
it's time that
to
it
spike
stops.
and then get,
Yep.
and then spike again, and then, you know,
Yeah. You've got somebody that's a repeat offender,
yeah.
it's like, you can't just close their eyes and
And-
pretend it doesn't exist.
As an inspector for the city, to clarify, I am required to follow the rules of licensed electrician. If he's not on site, licensed journeyman, correct? Okay,
Yep. All right, well, we'll do that. We'll send a letter to John. I mean, he's gonna be entitled to, you know, his side of the story, his explanation.
That should be a certified letter. Because you don't want to, next month, oh, I didn't get the letter.
Yeah,
yeah,
You know, if you send it certified, you know, we got the letter.
Yeah.
You know, he knows that he's gotta provide proof,
mhm,
because then at the next meeting, we can't do it at this meeting, we certainly should be able to do it at the next meeting.
yes, I
He's not
think he
gonna have
has.
proof.
That he would definitely be conspicuous in his absence. He's shown up before though, so I don't imagine he would just blow it off.
right,
And I think that he's also, you know, has some concerns about the way things are going, and I'm sure that, you know, he has some things that he wanted to bring up too. He does feel like he's being unfairly having his work approvals be withheld from him due to personality conflicts. So he may, you know, he may want to speak on that.
it may be worth contacting Johnson City, find out what Johnson City's issue is with him. Because they, like I said, Tom has told me that they won't issue him any
Yeah.
permits.
Well, you know what, in addition to 132 Clinton Street, we'll just keep an eye on, you know, what other work he's doing, and
Right. I mean,
as
the
we
only,
perform the inspections for the other components of the job, we can, you know, take a glance at what the electricians are doing, who's there,
right,
you know,
Right.
who's doing what.
right. Now, the only other one he's used me for recently was just a dormant meter. And there was no issues with that.
Yeah.
So. Tom will not inspect for him, Mike won't inspect for him.
Right.
So I'm pretty much his last hope, and my tolerance is getting thin.
Yep. Well, it makes sense. I mean, but like I said, all we could do at this point is have John come in, get his side of the story, see what he says. I thought we had an airtight case 4 or 5 years ago, but you know, his attorney was quick to point out that without actual evidence of wrongdoing, all we had was, you know, an accusation without any proof to back it up.
Right.
But it did change the way he worked for a while,
Yeah, I'm sure it did.
and
So between now and then, it would be a good idea to be driving by and seeing if you can catch them in the yard.
Yeah.
And ask for their ID.
Yeah.
yeah, if we got guys on ladders, we can, you know, as the electrical inspector or as the building inspectors, we can say, I need to see your journeyman's license,
Yeah.
or at least get your name so I can check it against the database.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
because they can say, I don't have it with me, you know, but if you get their name.
Right.
You can check it against the database and say, no, they've never had a license here.
Right. Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Because might as well build an airtight case in the month before next month's meeting,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you know.
Yep.
So that we can finally put this thing to bed.
I agree.
Thank you very much for coming and
Sure.
bringing that to our attention.
No problem, Bill.
All right. Does anybody have any other business they'd like to introduce today's
No.
meeting? Neither do I.
All right.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This meeting is adjourned.